Everyone has a worldview that works for them, and there's reasons that they came to it. But unless you went through very difficult things in life, and at the same time, you were able to be humble and keep yourself open to the grace of God, or to new interpretations, being able to admit when you were wrong, then chances are that your beliefs didn't change all that much. But let me tell you why spirituality is the only logical worldview, and that there's no logical, atheistic, or materialistic worldviews, if you care about your well-being. So, if you see the timeline of anyone who achieves any kind of desire, there's a lot of sorrow, there's a lot of effort, there's no fulfillment. So, someone who strives their whole life for money, I mean, this is obvious, everyone knows this by now. Someone who strives their whole life for money, when they get the money, they might be happy for a little bit, but they're not fulfilled. They're still depressed rich people. Same with the people who achieve the physique they want to fulfill. Same with the people who achieve the relationship they want to get. No matter what desire you choose, no desire will fulfill you. You'll always want more. You'll always feel unsatisfied. This is the nature of the ego. This is the nature of this mind that has evolved for its survival mechanisms. So what can truly fulfill you? Actually, before that, we'll go over some patterns. So the way I came to my conclusions was pattern recognition. And I can't do this pattern recognition for you. You'll have to pay attention to what kinds of people interact with each other. It's usually the people with the same thoughts and beliefs, emotions. What kind of people usually suffer certain kinds of conditions? You'll see another group of thoughts, beliefs, and actions. What kind of people achieve success? It's a different group of people. And you could really group up these things in specific virtues. You could group up things by belief. You could group up things by feeling. And you could group up things by action. But action alone, you'll see that when people try to copy other people's action, no one really gets the same results. So you have to go deeper than that. You have to go to the consciousness level. So once you see these patterns in inner state and the outer reality, you'll see that it's pointless to really force the outer reality. I hear this analogy a lot, that you don't change the reflection of the mirror, you change what you're putting in front of it. Or, I don't know exactly how it goes, but most people are trying to change the reflection. And most people don't even know how to change what's in front of the mirror. People are just listening to these gurus online about manifestation, things like that. But you have to think about that like you're trying to manifest something, so it's the same thing. Instead of taking action to force things, you're still dependent on the desire being fulfilled. You have to go beyond that. Beyond any of the ego's wants, needs. Understand that you aren't the ego. Understand that if you truly want anything that's worth it, because nothing seems like it's worth it to me beyond the end of all suffering. Like there's nothing in the world that would, knowing that there's the end of all suffering possible, nothing other than that would satisfy me as a final goal, as a purpose. So you have to see what purpose really matters to you. Because I don't care if in this life I don't achieve enlightenment. That's what I'm going to focus on every day, every single day. That is my intention. So I'm going to be embodying virtues. And right now I'm focusing on gratitude especially. And you could see the changes, the synchronicities that happen as you embody these different states of consciousness. So ask yourself, are you just repeating and parroting other people's worldviews? Are you trying to be right? Because there is nothing gained. Your life does not improve by being atheist. Your life does not improve by arguing with people and calling Christians dumb, or Sikhs dumb, or Hindus dumb, or Muslims dumb, or any of these people. Not that I agree with becoming fully dogmatized by religion. Come to your own conclusions. But there's definitely some value. There's value in everyone. You have to be a humble student of life. Everyone can teach you something valuable. Often, sure, people will just be angry or whatever. And still, you could learn that, okay, I don't want to be in that state. That could be the thing you learn from someone. It doesn't necessarily have to be what they say. But stay a student of life. Keep focusing on what really matters. As long as you keep focusing on what really matters to you, your overall purpose everything will keep coming together with positive intention, positive morals, positive values and virtues, and positive action, positive thinking, positive feeling. This will all line up. And it just becomes more and more simple over time. Like, you think about these things less. You have less questions. You kind of just not take it for granted, but you stop overthinking as much. Your ego begins to accept life a bit more. There's not as much resistance. So one thing I would say to people is just practice gratitude. Just practice certain spiritual teachings, and you'll get more faith in them as you actually see the results in your own life. Because you have to see something work out for you in order to believe it. There's only so much you could believe by just hearing it from somebody, no matter how logical it might seem. So see what works in life, what doesn't work in life. Keep watching and being aware of life. Just keep watching the patterns that you see in thoughts, feelings, actions, virtues, belief systems. There's patterns everywhere. You'll see that it all works out, and it works out like a perfect model. Not to be prideful or anything, but you could tell which people are fake, which people are not, what kind of life to pursue, what kind of things serve you versus don't. You could predict things and how they're going to play out based on the premise you do. Because, I mean, some people might say it's obvious, right? Like, if you try to gamble all your money, you're acting out of greed. It's going to end up in a bad result. So you want to act more out of fulfillment, more out of already being abundant, already being positive, already embodying these positive states and virtues, rather than embodying lack states. If I could do one simple teaching, it's, just embody more of those full, more godlike states than embodying the ego states that are always out of a reaction, always out of faulty conditioning. It never really has to be difficult, it's simple. But you have to learn these things on your own, find the patterns on your own. There's only so much people could tell you before you apply it. And sometimes you might have to go through difficult things in life before you become humble enough to accept truth. But once you really value truth, your life will change.